In this video, we're going to take a look at how the Epstein situation, release the Epstein Files, disclose the truth about Epstein. We're going to take a look at how that is being used as a political ploy. Epstein survivors are being used as political pawns, and we have politicians calling for the truth about Epstein for virtue signaling, self-righteous reasons. Now, of course, yes, we want the truth about Epstein disclosed and justice in that case and yada, yada, yada. But a lot of this is just coming down to political psyops. So let me explain. Let me cook some organic grass-fed ideas for you. Now, I saw this video go viral yesterday. It's already at over 100,000 likes, 44,000 shares, 3.4 million views on the Twitter. The person that posted this is some lawyer out of D.C., and big surprise, his pinned photo is him with Kamala Harris, so you get his political angle. Now, these are some of the Epstein survivors, Epstein witnesses, whatever you want to call them. You remember that press conference back in September, about 2.5 months ago? These were some of the individuals that were there testifying at this press conference. Now, in this video that went viral yesterday, they were just sharing young photos of themselves. Basically, photos of them before they got Epsteined, we could say, and basically calling for justice and awareness about the case. Actually, I want to stop it real quick. I remember her from that press conference because she went up and she apparently has some podcasts, like 500,000 followers on Instagram. She's pretty well known. She went up at that press conference back in September and said, you know, us survivors, we're going to band together and we're going to put out our own list. If we're not getting the truth from the government or from Trump, we're going to put out our own list. And I haven't seen that. I haven't seen anything regarding their own survivor list or survivor files. But we do get this video of them just holding up their childhood photos. So it's a very emotional, heartfelt video. And when I saw this, my first thought was, who the heck produced this? Who the heck produced it? We got an answer towards the end. 5 administrations. We're still in the dark. Call your Congress members and demand they release all the Epstein files. Go to worldwithoutexploitation.org. Now, before we talk about that NGO real quick, I just want to say it's really sad because these survivors, they do deserve justice. I'm sure doing videos and press conferences as such is very cathartic for them, which they deserve. They should get their stories out there. They do deserve justice. But unfortunately, I believe that many of these women are being used as useful idiots, as political pawns. And one of the reasons I say that is because, well, back to that point of, like, why do they keep doing the videos like this and not putting out their own survivor files that they claimed they were going to do 3 months ago? Waiting for that. But, all right, World Without Exploitation. A little bit of data on them. The World Without Exploitation is an NGO. It's a nonprofit that is a project of the Democrat dark money organization Tide Center. Tide Center is another NGO, so World Without Exploitation is like a shell NGO, basically. And the Tide Center is a very big Democrat dark money organization that has been funded to the tune of at least $26 million by George Soros, if not more than that. It's also been funded by the Rockefellers, and as you can see down here, also been funded by the Ford Foundation. And they're essentially using these Epstein survivors as political props. I remember that Epstein press conference held a few months back, and World Without Exploitation was one of the organizations that helped to set that up. There was a couple of other NGOs that was behind it as well. But a lot of people don't realize this. They don't realize how that press conference, this video, are being used by Democrat dark money organizations clearly as a political tool to essentially orange man bad. Essentially orange man bad. They try to claim it is non-political, like this message here, 5 administrations and we're still in the dark. Well, that'd be just facts of the matter. It wasn't until Trump that Epstein got arrested. People seem to forget about that little fact right there. And Ghislaine Maxwell arrested as well. Also, Jean-Luc Brunel arrested. A lot of people forget about that or don't know that. Yes, one of Epstein's friends has been arrested. There has been a little bit of justice in that whole saga. Not enough, but we'll talk about that in a moment. Now, the thing about the whole sex trafficking topic is that it is disgustingly one of the best topics that the establishment and politicians and the deep state can use as a political tool because you can't argue with it. Yeah, obviously, we need to eradicate sex trafficking. We need to hold elite sex traffickers accountable. And survivors do need to tell their story, and we need justice, right? You can't argue with that. And it's a very emotionally driven topic, which is exactly why it makes such a useful political tool for the deep state to wage psyops with. You remember back in 2017 when Ashton Kutcher testified in front of Congress, his speech on human trafficking, he was saying, oh my God, it's so bad. We need to get justice. We need to eradicate sex trafficking, get justice. In this regard, well, if you see, the organization that he was testifying on behalf of, he's the co-founder of Thorn, Digital Defenders of Children. Meanwhile, another institute, another NGO that was working with Ashton Kutcher at the time that helped to create Thorn is the McCain Institute. McCain Institute, Thorn, Digital Defenders of Children, Project Spotlight, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, real stand-up guy right there, John McCain. So, you see, the deep state, the establishment, they love to use the topic of sex trafficking to virtue signal, to seem all self-righteous and act like they're eradicating it. Meanwhile, they're actually helping to promote it. It's like the fox guarding the hen house, right? So back to the whole Epstein saga here, how it's being used as a political tool. What about some of those politicians that may or may not be currently using Epstein Justice, Epstein Truth, release the Epstein Files as a political ploy? Well, Massey. Yep, there's some things I like about Massey, but definitely some questionable things too.
The president has gone after you in some deeply personal ways. I mean, attacking you over and over again, even attacking you for, regarding your wedding, your recent wedding, which, by the way, congratulations. What do you make of all that? And he's obviously.
Hey, is it bad to have just maybe a couple small questions about that though? I mean, his high school sweetheart wife that he was married to for a long, long time passes away last summer, and then 12 months later, he gets married to some Rand Paul intern that he met. I mean, questions. Maybe not so bad to have there. Anyway.
He's supporting your primary opponents. I mean, what kind of retribution are you facing?
You know, my wife told me, she said, I told you so. We should have invited Donald Trump. He's mad that he didn't get an invitation. So we're taking it with a grain of salt. He's being a bully or trying to be a bully. And they're trying to beat me here in Kentucky. But here's what's interesting. The people financing this campaign consist...
Thomas Massey dropped his glasses, grew a beard, and he acts like his testosterone grew 500%.
completely of 3 billionaires, and they're all in the Epstein class. In fact, one of them is named in Epstein's phone book, not the secret files that the FBI is keeping, but in Epstein's phone book. So it's a small world. Dogs don't bark at parked cars, and we are winning. I'm not tired of winning yet, but we are winning. And not only the speaker.
Also, interesting that he ran to ABC News to do this. Wasn't ABC News one of the organizations that helped cover up Epstein like so many years ago? Remember 2019 when that ABC journalist was caught on video saying how ABC covered up Epstein? Massey goes to ABC. Establishment ABC. It's real weird. Okay, a couple of thoughts about this. First off, what are the Epstein Files? Can we just define that? Do you mean the flight logs? Do you mean like his little black book? Do you mean the documents that are in the government's control? Which agency? DOJ documents, FBI documents, any kind of other intelligence? Like, what do you mean? There's no solid definition for that. Also, in regards to the Epstein Files, remember, Epstein was arrested 2019. That was relatively towards the end of Trump's term. I wonder, ongoing investigations, right? So Epstein arrested, Ghislaine Maxwell arrested, and then Trump out of office with a rigged election in 2020. Any ongoing investigations that were happening essentially would have been maybe frozen or greatly compromised during those 4 Biden years. So in terms of the amount of time Trump has been in office from when Epstein and Ghislaine were arrested, only like a year and a half. That's not that much time to put together these giant investigations into the whole Epstein network. So I would imagine there probably are ongoing investigations happening regarding the Epstein network, whether FBI, DOJ are holding some investigations, maybe even military intelligence. If there were national security concerns regarding the Epstein network, which there probably are, which is why I proposed the idea that maybe military intelligence is handling some of these investigations. So if there are ongoing investigations happening in regards to the Epstein network, wouldn't it make sense that Trump doesn't really want to talk about them? Can't talk about them? Does it also make sense that maybe some of those Epstein files can't be put out publicly? And maybe the deep state knows that, and that is why they are waging this release the Epstein files crusade right now. Because they know Trump can't and doesn't want to release and talk about those Epstein files. So deep state wages this political psyop claiming Trump's protecting the pedophiles. Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why he doesn't want to release them. You see the mind fuck there? It's like a psyop within a psyop. Could be why we have some of these virtue signaling politicians and social media influencers going all aboard the Justice for Epstein survivors, release the Epstein files thing, because they know Trump can't release them, can't talk about them. But it makes it look like Orange Man bad. Orange Man protecting pedophiles, right?
But the Attorney General, the FBI Director, and the President himself and the Vice President, they're taking a big loss this week because after months of fighting, I am winning this week with Ro Khanna. We're forcing this vote, and it's going to happen. I would remind my Republican colleagues who are deciding how to vote, Donald Trump can protect you in red districts right now by giving you an endorsement, but in 2030, he's not going to be the president, and you will have voted to protect pedophiles if you don't vote to release these files into.
Protect the pedophiles. That's why you run to ABC News, Pedophile Protector Mainstream Media Network, and work with Ro Khanna, a Democrat. I don't know if Ro Khanna and these Democrats really want the Epstein files out there, because wouldn't that really expose Bill Clinton and some people in the Democrat Party? Be careful what you wish for. So we got Massey and now Marjorie as well. Kind of the same thing here. Marjorie running to fake news CNN with Dana Bash, CIA shill, deep state shill, propagandist. So she runs also to a mainstream media network. She, much like Massey, has been all on the Justice for Epstein. I believe she was at that press conference a few months back that I was talking about earlier. Massey helped organize it with Ro Khanna and all the NGOs. All right. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene, same thing. A lot of virtue signaling, self-righteousness, justice for the victims, and, oh my gosh, Orange Man bad, Trump bully.
I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did. Campaigned all over the country, spent millions of my own dollars helping him get elected. And I think that's incredibly important. And I do support.
Wouldn't those have been tax write-offs, though? And aren't a lot of those millions of your own dollars actually from your family business? And whenever was there a time when virtually, quote-unquote, virtually nobody stood with President Trump? I don't know. Just parsing the language there.
Support him and his administration, and I support them in delivering the campaign promises we made to the American people. His remarks, of course, have been hurtful. However, I have something in my heart that I think is...
Didn't you want mean tweets back? Didn't you want the mean tweets? Now you're just butthurt that some of those mean tweets are directed at you.
Incredibly important for our country, and that is to end the toxic fighting in politics. And this has been going on for years, and it has divided our country, split up friends and families, neighbors, and it's not solving our problems.
Oh, fuck you. For years, literally, you were calling people traitors. Marjorie's mad she's being called a traitor. Literally, just go to Twitter, search traitor from MTG Green. MT Green knee. Let's see. Jeff Duncan's a traitor. Bob Good's a traitor. Let's see. Bob Good's a traitor. Bob Good's a traitor. Bob Good's a traitor. She doesn't like Bob Good. 2 traitor Republicans. Republican traitor, Congressman Katko. 13 traitor Republicans. Traitor Joe Biden. I mean, she's right about that one, but traitor Adam Kinzinger. So, traitor John Kerry. Yeah. Oh, isn't this a doozy? Once upon a time, Marjorie Taylor Greene was calling Israel our great friend and ally. Huh. That's interesting. Anyway, I might bookmark that one. Let's see. Traitor rhinos. Nancy Pelosi's a traitor. Ooh, isn't that funny? Marjorie Taylor Greene was just on The View last week, really respecting, giving glowing praise to Nancy Pelosi. Oh, yeah. Dude, what is this like self-righteous, virtue-signaling bullshit? I'm sick of the toxic political rhetoric. Bitch! You've been calling people traitor for years. And you don't want to unify with clowns like Nancy frickin' Pelosi or CNN? The fuck is this?
Neighbors, and it's not solving our problems. The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor. And that is...
Oh no, people calling other people traitors. I've never done that. I'm Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Is so extremely wrong, and those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What do you think happened? What do you think is the reason for this?
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein Files, and that is shocking.
Dude, does it look like she's reading a script here? Her facial expressions are just blank. She is reading 100% a script.
All come down to the Epstein Files, and that is shocking. And, you know,
You telling me how to think and feel?
That is shocking.
Stand with these women. I stand with rape victims. I stand with children who are in terrible sex abuse situations.
2 fake blondes on a fake news media outlet right here. God. Same thing here. Virtue signaling self-righteousness over the gotta stand with the survivors, gotta stand with the victims, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, could they not be actually subverting, undermining justice in the Epstein case if there are ongoing investigations that Trump doesn't want to, can't talk about. Would they not be actually subverting justice here by trying to put political pressure in the whole release the files shit? Like, what? When Trump calls this whole thing a hoax, this is exactly what he could be talking about. Like, the whole political posturing nonsense that's going on. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene is out here claiming that she's getting bomb threats and being doxxed with hoax pizza deliveries. I don't know if that's true or not. I would like proof of that. But she's claiming that she's a victim now. Oh no, I must be over the target. Blame Trump. Trump's vicious attacks are causing me to be such a victim with bomb threats and all that. Yeah, prove it. But at the end of the day, late last night, Trump said on Truth Social, House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein Files because we have nothing to hide and it's time to move on from this freaking nonsense charade, this political crap. So that's happening tomorrow. The House vote to release the Epstein Files is happening tomorrow. It's kind of interesting. I wonder why Trump has, for a few months now, kind of gone back and forth, just saying it's a distraction, it's a hoax. It's like that's reverse psychology that he's using to make the establishment and political useful idiots call for them to be released. Like, okay. Trump's probably like, good. Be careful what you wish for. My reverse psychology is working. Call for them to be released. And I will get you to call for them to be released by saying it's just a distraction, it's a hoax, let's move on from it. Yeah, I wonder if that's some reverse psychology he's playing. Anyway, that vote's happening tomorrow. We'll see who votes how. And then if the vote is for the Epstein Files to get released, we'll see if judges actually release them. Because remember, once upon a time this year, the Trump administration did actually try to get Epstein Files released from New York courts, and judges, Democrat-appointed judges, Clinton and Obama-appointed judges, denied the motion to release things in the case. So just a lot of little facts about this matter that people are forgetting, and they're not seeing through the virtue signaling and self-righteousness. They're not seeing the political operation, the psyop being waged by release the Epstein Files. And a lot of influencers on the internet and people are just falling for it as well. They're falling for it.
Pedophiles are being protected.
No, I would imagine there's ongoing investigations, and justice very much will be coming. And there are reasons why, strategic, legitimate reasons why we haven't had files released yet. And people aren't understanding how these Epstein survivors are being used by NGO political organizations as political pawns. And it's sad. All the freaking nonsense, self-righteousness, and virtue signaling that happens in politics in general is just disgusting. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that vote tomorrow.